in the Constitution. 8.1. In giving effect to the provisions of Section 14.3 and 4 of this Constitution, the Commission shall have the power to work out an equitable formula subject to the approval of National Assembly. For the distribution of all cadres in the public service of the Federation and of states, the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, and other government security agencies, government-owned companies, parastatals of states. Promote, monitor, enforce compliance with the principles of proportional sharing of all bureaucratic, economic, media, and political posts at all levels of government. Take such measures, including the prosecution of head of staff of any ministry or agency, government body, which fails to comply with any federal character principle or formula prescribed by or adopted by the Commission. That's the Federal Character Commission. Now, our own standing rules in the House. Our standing rule 36.1. There shall be a committee known as the Committee of Federal Character, consisting of members. The committee's jurisdiction shall cover the oversight of the Federal Character Commission, investigate complaints of non-compliance with the Federal Character principles by ministries, departments, agencies, and advise the House thereon. Ensure the Commission complies with the functions assigned to it in the Constitution, promoting, monitoring, and ensuring compliance with principles of proportional sharing of all posts at all levels of government, ensuring that all appointments into every public company or sector of the economy or polity and corporation reflect the federal character in its directorate and senior management cadre. Thank you.
Professor Francis Chukwemeka Eze, do solemnly swear and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whatever I will say here is true to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God.
Please, would like to go through your nominal state. So we'll start from Adamawa. So your nominal role, how many people on your nominal role are from Adamawa?
11. Borno, there are 4. Gombe, there are 10. Taraba State 2. Yobe 1. Benue 23. Kogi is 12. Kwara we have 7. Nasarawa 29. Niger 4. Plateau 15.
FCT
as Abuja.
You put it as Abuja, FCT Abuja, which of us?
That's 3. Jigawa is 1. Kaduna 6. Kano 5. Katsina 9. Kebbi, we don't have Kebbi.
Professor, just 0. Okay. Sokoto
0. Zamfara 0. Abia has 363. Anambra has 288. Ebonyi has 49. Enugu has 127. Imo has 3,049.
Akwa Ibom.
Akwa Ibom has 38.
Bayelsa.
Bayelsa has 1.
Cross River.
Cross River has 51.
Delta.
Delta 51 as well.
Edo.
Edo has 24.
Rivers.
Rivers has 25.
Ekiti.
Ekiti has 4.
Lagos.
Lagos has 1.
Ogun.
Ogun has 5.
Ondo.
Ondo has 12.
Osun.
Osun has 6.
Oyo.
Oyo has 3.
Professor, when did you become the Vice Chancellor? 4 years now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And in that time, how many employments have you done? How many batches of employment have you done in those almost 4 years?
Only once. I think that's once. Yes, please. Only once, I think. Once.
Do you have the numbers you employed at that instance, the one time you...
I'm not sure what I think about 501 or so.
You submitted some documents. We say we need the nominal role state by state. But the document here, which is the nominal role for a junior staff, you have geopolitical zones. We usually do not accept that. So this particular document cannot be used by the committee. You did the right thing with the other 2 documents. Why is it that this document has geopolitical zone? Not state.
Predominantly from the catchment area.
Professor, this document it's showing east. It's not. You can't accept this document. How?
When I discovered that for the junior staff, they sent the wrong thing, which I had actually asked them to amend, and they packaged the wrong thing and sent. So, but it had left, so I couldn't. But I have the right one here that indicates their states. Just one copy of it.
But doesn't tell us much. Doesn't actually tell us anything. Because even in the geopolitical zone he has referred to as East, there is a lot of inequalities there. But this seems to balance them. So it's not correct. The documentation is incomplete to that extent. And I want to say that we can't proceed with this incomplete package based on precedents.
Further to this document, Prof. Our understanding is sometimes when you're forging documents from an institution and the document that you're going to speak for, it should be better presented, itemized, and everything should be shown on it, please. For us, we feel this should have come from somewhere else, not a university. So I hope you pick that correction. And this is not a place where we'll come and say, okay, we'll go back and come back, go back and come back. So please, you could help us when you give us the right information that we need next time.
I have only a copy of the correct one. Has only one copy of the correct one. May I suggest that we send somebody for started and while we're dealing with other things. So we'll be able to
say that since the copy is here, we can exercise a little patience and have it shared among the members, because we can't deliberate like the precedent that was set yesterday. We can't deliberate on an incomprehensive document. We cannot, this data here that we have cover both senior and junior employees. So it's better to have that one in so that we can discuss it generally. Thank you.
Geopolitical zone is part of this nominal role. overall nominal role is what?
4,240.
The document be taken to be photocopied, and then we come back in 10 minutes. We can have an executive 10 minutes, and then
We get this one in 10 minutes.
or 10-15 minutes, and we continue.
A member of this committee, I wish to move that every minute be given to our guests to photocopy and circulate the missing document to enable us do the hearing.
Why didn't you point out to us that there was a document that was updated until I mentioned that you gave us a document that only had zones?
Well, I said because they are junior staff. That is, they are junior staff. And, you know, we are giving you those of academic and this, and they are not, just because they are junior staff. And I didn't feel that emphasis was going to be placed on junior staff. That's just the truth.
You are not the one going to tell us which we should consider. Your nominal role is your overall staff strength, and every single staff member is relevant to this committee because they are Nigerians and you're a Nigerian institution. So that is totally wrong. That's your statement. Thank you. Members, you have the floor.
Thank you. Welcome once again. I know that the origins of your institution may have been partly responsible for what I'm seeing here. But looking through the documents you submitted, I also noticed that there have been recruitments 2017, 2018, 2019, even 2020, unless I didn't look at it well. And I also note that a lot of those recruitments were done, and most of those recruited were, in fact 95% were Imo. It means that very little effort has been made to really make this university a federal university. You've been there since 2016. How can a state like Lagos have just one? And you have some states that don't even have any. How do you sleep at night, VC? When you look at this kind of, this is not skewed, this is not biased, this is not unequal. There is no word in the dictionary for me to qualify what I'm saying here. See, I'm saying this because I know Imo State pretty well. I lived there. My national service was in Umudike, Umuahia in those days, the old Imo. And your governor is a personal friend and colleague and very close friend of mine. I know the kind of person he is. Imo is an enlightened state, filled with enlightened people, even in the business. But for this kind of thing to be going on under you academics who are supposed to have a broader perspective, a holistic notion of the Nigerian state, with a sense of nation and a sense of mission. Mr. Visi, this is not good enough. This is not just is not good enough, it is very, very bad. If you look at page 17 of your nominal role of academic staff, you have to look very well and look at the documents. There is no local government LGA called ESA in Edo State. Benin City is the capital of the state, and there is no local government called Benin City. There is no local government called Isham, and there is no local government called ESA. Page 17.
352,
Yes, from 3, I'm reading from, 351 down. See, so those kind of errors should not be in this kind of documents. This one you submitted, list of summary staff distribution according to state of origin in FUTO. You as an academic know that this document is incomplete. There is no state in Nigeria called Abuja. It's Federal Capital Territory. And This one, this document, this one. And the last 3 states where you have 000, you omitted them. You cannot. You have to include every state so that the picture will be complete. But I think what I want to ask you, I have so many details I've gleaned from the documents here. What is it that you, as Vice Chancellor, who's been there for quite a while, what is it that you've been doing, and what are you going to do next to begin to rectify this? As a suggestion for a start, even if you are not going to say it because you are the VC, they should freeze all appointments from Imo. I mean, there is absolutely no reason why anybody from Imo State should be recruited in that place. Let me close with one other piece of information so that you understand the point I'm making. Page 46. If you look at page 46 of that same document, 45, not just 45, nominal role for academic staff as of July. From pages 42, oh no, this is bad. It's difficult to even work with. From 32 down, it's all Imo. Where will you present this kind of document and anybody will look at it and say there is any sense or understanding or appreciation of fairness, of equity, of justice in that institution? This is mind-boggling, I must confess. And I think personally, I'm not happy with it. And I think the committee should take due notice of this anomaly. And they must tell us what they are going to be doing to rectify this terrible situation. Thank you.
There are no such local governments. So that 352 and 353 would like you to furnish the committee with their local government, proof of their local government. And then, please, as a rider to it, 1277 on that document. Can you go to number 1277? Of nominal role for academic staff. 1277. Dr. Adegoke. Someone is a doctor and does not know the local government is from? 1277. Ogun State, 1277. Because doctor spoke about local governments, so I want to add that particular 1277. Academic staff, nominal role. A doctor doesn't know the local government is from. So please, that is the third one. We need to know exactly proof of his local government. We want to know which local government he is from. That is if he is from Ogun State at all. So please furnish the committee with that.
But I represent Nigeria. And the same way I complain if there is an injustice in the north, if there is unfairness in the south, I will complain about it. This document here does not represent the one Nigeria that we cry about. This document is not even fit to be a document for a state university. Yeah. Even in a private state university, it will be more open than what we are seeing here. We'll go through the statistics before we do that. Just like Professor mentioned just recently about the names that appear as local government in his state. I am from Abia State, and I'm seeing Oko Kitem, local government. First page, number 17. It is still a dream that will happen in the time to come. But for now, there is no local government in Abia State known as Oko Kitem. Oko Kitem falls under Item Ward B in Bende, local government. It is my constituency. So I don't know if that person is actually from my place. That description does not suit a local government. Now, if you go to number 37,
You will also see Uzuakoli local government. Still a vision that will be made a mission in the time to come, because Bende remain the biggest single local government that has not been divided into 2 or 3 since 1976. But till we split it, there is no place called Uzuakoli local government in Abia State currently. Normally, like what happened here yesterday, based on the precedent that we set, when we see something like this, the committee usually throw the document away and then ask you to come some other time. I tried to save an agency yesterday and I was ruled out of order for this similar issue. But let's go to the analysis of what you have presented. A total number of 4,242, or if you like 4,241. When you spread it equally, every region should be getting about 706 employees. Every region. Okay, let's take for granted that it is the whole state. We're supposed to have about 25% more.
2.5% minimum and maximum 3%.
How many percent?
2.5% minimum.
2.5% minimum.
Maximum 3%.
Okay.
And that translates to 117 per state. An average of 115 to 120 per state. 117 per state.
Got zero. And it's taxpayers' money from KB and Sokoto and Zamfara that got zero, and Jigawa that got 1. That is also being used to fund the activities of that university. And we say no to this kind of practice. The same way we stood here and we said no to universities and institutions in the north and in the southwest, and we criticized them and we said what they were doing was wrong, and they tried to justify and we said no. That is the same way I'm telling my own Igbo university that is cited in Igbo land, that if you take 3,876 out of 4,242, it is unfair. The balance is not proper. And when you now go down to, that's something I saw on which page was that you were showing me?
52.
Was it 52? If you go, when new recruitment that took place in 2020.
2020.
If you go to number 1230 on page 52, that recruitment took place just February of this year. And you go to 1231, it took place the same year, the same month. And if you go to the state, it is still Imo State. One would have thought, as a man who has been in this particular position for a while now, since 2016, as a man who has visited this committee not once, not twice, and who pledged, if we go to the institutional record, who pledged to balance it out subsequently, there was no effort in this direction. Because if there was this political will to balance it out, when you were to employ in 2020, at least you would have looked for states like Bayelsa that had only 1, Lagos State that had only 1, Yobe that has only 1, Adamawa that has only 1. You know, they preach that politicians are the one dividing the country. But technocrats are not playing according to what they teach in school. You teach us unity, you teach us one nation, you preach it, you profess it. But when it comes to application, it is lopsided. So, for me, this is totally a breach of the provisions of Section 14, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I don't know what the defense they're going to put up, Mr. Chairman, but I think it's up to this committee to listen to them at the right time and be able to take positions. Because me, I'm tired of coming here every day and we go through the same thing and nothing happens at the end of the day.
Thank you.
One. The other recruitments are replacement. They're replacement.
Okay. Professor, there's something we need to clarify here. Are you standing by that under oath?
That was the main recruitment we did. Let me say something, Chairman. Let me say something, if you allow me. want to say that I am a firm believer of the federal character principle. I started my work in Bauchi. We founded a TBU. And if you ask about me, you will understand what I'm saying. Now, what you are seeing, the spread you are seeing here, came about since I took office. All the spread you see in the north. But I need to also mention that sometimes when we advertise and we give appointment, mainly we want to have that spread. We give to the north. People from the northern part of the country. Some of them, initially, they were not coming. But in the,
with that statement you just, the document you gave us,
non-teaching.
page 79. Because you just made a statement that since you got there, you have done the spread. That's why it's even looking okay.
Yes.
Now let's go to page 79, non-teaching staff. Starting from number 9. Number 9 till you get to page 81. Number 41. Between that number 9 and 41, you, while you were in charge, employed 23 people from Cross River from one local government called Yaku. That's from page 79, number 9, till you get to number 41. Out of those numbers, there are 23 people from one local government in one state. Not even spread in the local government in that state. From one single local government, 23 people. And you say you have spread it properly since you got there. When we started this hearing, I said 774 local governments. I didn't say state, I didn't say zone or region. I said 774 local governments. And I'm pointing to you here now from page 79 to page 81. 23 people from one local government, representing 5% of that employment you did, or 501 people was from one local government in one state. Please, can you answer that question?
And we will make amends because we see some of these.
Professor, you said that your own words were, since you got there.
I apologize for that. Some of these things.
Is it I'm going to come back and resubmit the documents. The way.
Prof, Njoku cannot be from Bauchi State. Either number 87, page 87,
number 4 and 5. Page 77, number 4 and 5.
Can you go to? Can you go to page 87?
Okay.
Number 1. Emmanuel Ehinocho from Gombe, Duku. That's not page 87 of the senior staff, non-teaching. Number 1, almost down to from the page. Emmanuel Ehinocho from Gombe and Duku local government. Meaning there's Ungune Amanta from Gombe, Kaltungo local government. Serial number 58. Page, there's no page, serial number, the non
leading to this proceeding, we'll be able to act accordingly with this document. That is my amendment, Chairman.
Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor to submit. Then, number 2, Mr. Chairman, sir. The nominal role. Number 2, Mr. Chairman, you should also put into writing, because he has agreed that there are anomalies, the way he wishes to correct these anomalies. Then, number 3, Mr. Chairman, is that he should submit to this committee all associated and relevant documents relating to how the employment opportunities were carried out between year 2015 and year 2020. I so move, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Move the motion, and someone is going to second it. Let me clarify. He wants you to resubmit all the documents that you gave us. You will go and put them in proper perspective and make sure that every person is in the local government. All the errors the registrar has claimed were made will be rectified, and you bring a proper document to Parliament that is authentic. That's first. Secondly, all your correspondence with either Federal Character Commission or where you got waivers from to do those recruitments should be submitted to the committee. And lastly, he wants you to put in writing what recruitment you plan on doing and the procedures you're going to use for the next recruitment you want to do. So a member will move.
Right to second the motion ably moved by my colleague that the VC submit all necessary documents, including the nominal role of the institution from its date as assumption of duty on June 2016 till date. All are celebrated by the chairman. I so second.
You're going to submit fresh documents. Registrar, please take note. You're going to submit fresh nominal roles for your academic staff, non-teaching staff, and then the junior staff, and putting into cognizance the local governments for each staff, making sure that they are put in the right places. Secondly, you are going to furnish this committee all correspondence you had with Federal Character Commission or any federal government body that empowered you to go about replacing or recruiting people into your university. And lastly, you will furnish this committee with the procedure and processes you want to use in your next recruitment. How you're going to go about it, advertisement, whether you intend on trying to get a waiver again, the exact procedures you want to use for every single employee you're intending on recruiting. And you will be coming back to face this committee with all those documents. You would face this committee within the next 1 month. The clerk will furnish you the day you will appear before the committee.
I have gone to the barracks area where I know that some other people from other areas are living to get people. When I said I made efforts, these are things I do to see how we can begin to correct some of the past mistakes. We will do what you've asked us to do. We have no option. But I'm still pledging that I will improve on what we have on ground. By the next time we are doing recruitment, we will advertise, and part of the errors we have here are things that when you have, for instance, a junior staff, with time he's going to get promoted, he becomes a senior. So those people, if you look at the senior staffing position, you will also see that the numbers are big because many of these people have been promoted into the senior cadre. These are some of the problems we are grappling with. It's not been easy. I must be honest with you, it's not been easy. I can't begin here to open up the problems we have.
Thank you very much.
I'm aware Vice Chancellors exchange notes with each other. Why do I say so? The response that we get, sometimes they look like they were crammed, rehearsed. All the members here will tell you the truth. It's like you belong to one WhatsApp group or one group where you share your experiences and everybody speak in one language. But you see, these are intelligent people sitting here. This is a professor of so many years who has worked in the private sector, in the university, and also in government. and some of us have various backgrounds. That we are in politics does not mean that we threw our brain away. What we keep hearing when your colleagues and yourself make presentation has always been, when we advertise, nobody came from this region. When we advertise, there was nobody from there. So we had to make use of what it's not true, Prof. It's not true. There is no effort. If there is effort, why is it that you did not speak to your member of representative and say, please, go to the clerk. This clerk sometimes will call us and say, Sokoto needs somebody from Abia. Do you have anybody? You ask such question. Why is it that the universities, they are not making use of their representative? There is no how a representative will bring a message and say, you are from Adamawa. There is a space for Adamawa people. And that representative will not go the whole local government in Adamawa to get somebody who has that qualification. The same thing is applicable in Bayelsa. The same thing is in Rivers State. Why are you not using the representative? You call them representative, yet you don't want them to represent. And then you come back and tell us nobody was from that area. That's why it's zero. We are not buying that. So if you are coming back to see us and you're going to come with that excuse that we tried, there's nobody from that area, that's why we don't have anybody there, I don't think it will go down well with us. Thank you.
To explain better to the committee, but the main gross we have with you is that your document is very misleading, and we need a proper document to actually have a proper committee meeting with you. So that is the most important thing. We cannot base this meeting on nothing. These documents are very misleading, and Parliament cannot use this document to engage you. Thank you very much.